Hey y'all, hope all is well. Today's assignment is talking about how important it is for you to be building your personal brand to save your business. Now, this conversation is for those businesses that are struggling a little bit. They're looking for ways to monetize, but they just been stuck and they think it's the economy, but it's not the economy. And I want to tell you within this video some steps that you could be taking in order to get more exposure, in order to get more sales, in order to get more opportunities. So definitely stay tuned. Please do yourself a huge favor. Use that button below, click so that you can subscribe because I'm about to start dropping some crazy content that is going to bless your socks off in terms of marketing and branding, relationship building, sales strategy, all of that stuff. So you definitely want to be tapped in so that you don't miss this stuff. And then I want you to share this with your friends, your family members, everybody that could benefit from content like this so that we all can learn and grow together. So first steps first. I want to build a foundation because this is going to be part of like a 2 or 3 part series. So it's going to be a series of videos about the same type of subject matter. But I got to dig in and kind of build a foundation first. First thing we have to talk about in terms of building a personal brand, the reasons why it's so vitally important right now is that if you've been that business owner on Instagram specifically that have created a business page, you're wondering why nobody is liking it, nobody's commenting, so you are assuming that your business isn't good, that people are not interested simply because they're not liking, they're not viewing, they're not following you, right? And here's one thing that you have to keep in mind. Those type of metrics of the likes and the views, you've heard this before, it doesn't really matter, but it also matters a little bit in terms of viewership, in terms of your reach, in terms of people actually paying attention to you. Now, if I were you, I wouldn't be concerned about those things, but I would definitely pivot away from just using your business page as a way for you to generate sales. See, you have to get back to the understanding that social media was first created for human beings to be social with each other. We can't lose that fact. So, with that in mind, people do not like as much as you think they do to interact with business pages. Now, if that business page is like a Chanel, if it's like some sports car, if it's Lamborghini, then yeah, people are going to be tapped into the business page because they want to see something new that they might be dropping. They want to see if they are sharing something with the community that they're a part of. But if you are just starting your cupcake business, your nail salon, your carpentry company, your whatever, people have no idea who you are or your company. So it's going to take time for you to build a relationship with them. And the easiest way to do that is to build a personal brand. Now, for note's sake, I want you to jot these things down because these are all that we are going to cover today. We're going to be talking about your USP, which is your unique selling proposition, position, either way, USP. So next, after the USP, we're going to dig into building an online presence because this is going to really allow you to capitalize on all the work that you put in thus far within your business. Now, let's stop and pivot. Just think about this. You have been building this business for so many years, yet you still working this full-time job. And it's not that you're not courageous enough. It's not that you're not smart enough. It's not that people don't like you. The problem is people just have no idea that you even exist. Now, there's maybe 100 people, maybe even 1,000 people that actually know you. But in terms of the people that could buy from you, most of these people have no idea that you even exist. And many times, some of the people that are closest to us still have no idea that we're even selling a product because we don't want to talk about it. We're either afraid to talk about it or we have this posture of, I don't want to talk about it too much. And sometimes talking about it too much means that you talked about it twice on your social media page in 1 week. And it's like, oh, I don't want to bombard the people. I don't want to give them too much. I don't want them to be overwhelmed with my company. You ain't even allowed them to be overwhelmed yet. See, they haven't even experienced what it would feel like to see you a little bit too much. And even if they did, it's okay. What are they going to do? Stop following you? What are they going to do? Unsubscribe from your email list? What are they going to do? Stop coming to your social media posts? If these individuals weren't buying anything in the first place, then why are you concerned if they stay or go on your social media page? So look, getting back to it, your unique selling proposition. This has to be that thing that you are going to put out into the marketplace that separates you just a little bit from everybody else is doing the same thing. And it does not matter if there are 1,000 people in your industry, in your city, heck, in your neighborhood doing the exact same thing. That's not going to stop you from generating sales. You have to now have this position inside of you that nothing or no one is going to stop me. I'm going to get the word out to the people that I know that I can serve with my product, with my service, right? With my opportunity, with this thing, this idea, this easy way of doing things, whatever it is. You got to know there ain't nobody going to stand in your way but you. But once you know your unique selling proposition, you put that out there in the marketplace. So, let me give you an example. So, I am in the marketing industry, right? But as you can see, if you've been looking at my brand for any amount of time, you will see that I also talk about relationships, I also talk about selling, I also talk about sales strategy, I also talk about brand and marketing strategy. All these things are interconnected for me that helps me serve my clients and customers the best way I can. Now, I specialize in branding outside of just marketing. So I'm not discounting marketing, but I focus on this branding piece because I strongly believe from the experience that I've gained, looking at my own brand, looking at the clients that I've helped reach really high levels of success, these individuals, including myself, building a personal brand was the way to do it. And it's not that these other ways don't work, but for us, this thing of like building relationships, taking the time to identify what the brand is going to be, then you put that thing out there. So it even becomes easier in terms of your unique selling proposition. It becomes even easier for you to create that thing. Why? Because now I know what it is that I stand for. I know within creating my brand strategy document with Manny Hall and Associates that they help me understand what it is that I stand for, who it is that I'm going to be serving in the first place. See, when we think about this target market, your target market is not just some cool people that you just decide to have as your future customers. Like we be thinking, like, you know what? I want you to have purple hair. You're gonna live in Nebraska. What else? You like going to the zoo sometime. You like French fries. You like family, but you've been divorced. So that's my avatar. I have to literally just create an avatar. No, 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 that's not the way that you do it. You start looking at your target market, these people that you know that you can serve, by designing a product or a service based off of what you know that you are already good at, or you're a problem solver in this particular space. So let me back that thing up. When you think about your target market, it's not just whoever you want to choose, it's who's out there that has this type of problem that I know that I can solve with my product or my service, right? So then when you think about creating your unique selling proposition, you begin to differentiate yourself from everybody else because yes, you're a part of this industry, but you do that thing a little bit different than everybody else. You have maybe a different approach, maybe a different philosophy. Maybe you use certain ingredients that everybody else doesn't use. Maybe the way that you deliver the service is packaged a certain way and you have this nice tender loving feel kind of touch to it. So it gives people a better experience. Like if you have ever been to an amusement park, but then also been to Disney World, you know the difference, right? That's their differentiator. That's their unique selling proposition is when you come to Disney, you about to have an amazing experience. You're about to be captivated right from the start. Even when people are waiting in line at Disney, they are still being entertained. You're not going to get that at a regular amusement park because Disney is totally different. So what am I saying? Your unique selling proposition has to be something that's going to set you apart from everybody else. And they will need to be able to recognize that right from the start. Yeah, they heard about other marketing people, but they ain't never heard of Manny Hall. They ain't never seen nobody do it like Manny Hall and Associates. Why? Because our unique selling proposition is we focus on the brand element first before we start to market, because we don't want you to be marketing trash. I'm gonna give you an example. How many times have you seen an ad for something that you had absolutely no interest in ever buying anyway? Or maybe somebody was positioning something to you and you kept seeing it, but it was trash to you. It was like, I'm never buying this. I don't care how many times I see it. And this is the same way when you have not clearly developed a brand strategy, but then you try to market yourself. You end up putting out something that's not that good, that is not going to push the people to actually buy from you. So we help you to create a very clear brand strategy for then everything that you market after is going to have that same look and feel. It's going to give people the opportunity to really connect with you in a very real way. So then you're not wasting your time talking to everybody. You catch that? See, I'm getting you to a place where you can get some of your time back, where you're not just wasting time talking to a whole bunch of different people that had no interest in ever buying from you. So you want to try to play the convincing game. You know the convincing game. Can you please buy from me? I have a really great offer. This thing is amazing. Won't you please give me a try? No, I ain't got to convince you. When you know you got a dope product or service, you got to stand on that. You know how the young kids say, stand on business? I don't know if they still say it, but some of the kids when I was working in high school would say, stand on business. And you got to do the same thing. You got to be able to stand on this brand strategy that you've created. So then when you're marketing, I'm connecting with the right people on a consistent basis. So I'm not, in a sense, even selling. I'm just making offers to the people that I know have a need for the service, for the product that I can provide. All right, y'all, look, we was trying to get to online, building an online presence. I'm not sure how much we're going to be able to get to. Time is getting away from us, but I want to just try to touch on a couple of points, and then you will have to meet me in part two of this video series. We were probably going to go 3 videos. I'm almost thinking that this might have to be like a 4 or 5 part series on really building a personal brand. I want you to be able to share this video series with a friend, with a family member, with a coworker, with a business bestie that you have, so that we can all learn and grow together. Because I'm going to tell you, you getting some of your time back is the key to success. See, right now you probably running all over the place, doing Instagram, doing Facebook, doing TikTok, trying to dance, trying to do this, trying to do that, and it's just not bringing in any sales. The stuff that I'm teaching you is going to help you to bring in more sales, even starting this week. Whenever you watch this video, if you start to apply this stuff this week, if it's a Sunday you apply, you're going to start making money. If it's a Monday, if it's a Tuesday, you'll start making money if you start to follow. I'm going to dig into sales strategy as we get to like part 3. But right now, we really have to build this foundation of talking about building a personal brand. Now, I'm going to touch on this online presence part, and then I'll meet you in part 2 of this. But I'll start with the foundation here, y'all. When you're thinking about building your online presence, you have to get out of your own way. You have to become more impressed with who you are. Listen, this is not popular language in this culture, right? That we are applauding now who you are as an individual, all the expertise that you have, aside from the degrees, all the certification and these accomplishments and these awards. We want to just applaud you as an individual. Because when you can start to do that on a consistent basis, then people will begin to see something magical come out of you. They won't begin to see this regular, normal people like you think that you are right now. You think that you're just a part of the normal group of people, right? Everybody's just average. I'm just average, just like everybody else. You know, I go to work, I do this, I'm just average. You're not average. You were never meant to be average, no part of you. So now building an online presence is going to take you having a totally different posture. Totally different posture. I'm talking about the way that you feel about yourself in the morning, the way that you feel about your business, the way that you put the energy out there. Because look, I could tell you, you know what, here's the steps. I want you to write a book. I want you to uh, get some Google reviews about yourself. I want you to have people write articles about you. I want you to get in news publications. I want you to do this. But if you still have this posture of I'm a failure, I'm not good enough, nobody's gonna like me, nobody's gonna buy from me, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, I don't have enough nice clothes, this and that. Whatever you might be telling yourself right now, if you don't fix those things right now, it does not matter how many marketing tactics and strategies you try to use, you'll always stop yourself. And Manny, how do you know that? Because I was that same person that kept stopping myself. I was doing all the cool things that they told me to do, but until I got that mind right in terms of looking at the way that I wanted to build, see, I was before trying to compete with all these other people, trying to talk like them, trying to walk like them, trying to speak like them, trying to dress like them, trying to get their type of car, trying to get their type of house, trying to have their type of vacation, get their Louis bag, get their Louis robe. None of those things really mattered. See, I thought that my success would be in creating copycats. I would just be like a copycat of all these different people. But what I learned was I had to create a version of Manny Hall that was better than the version of Manny Hall yesterday and keep doing that every single day. Because when I do that, since I've been doing that these past few years, nothing can stop me. Listen, in terms of my online presence, I keep showing up as my authentic self all the time. So whether I'm talking about marketing, branding, sales strategy, whether I'm talking about communication, whether I'm talking about neurolinguistic programming, whether I'm talking about your mental disorders. Now, I'm not talking about you mean mentally ill like that, like you in a hospital, but your mental disorders, meaning that there's some disorder going on mentally. Come on, y'all. Oh, y'all. Listen, there's some disorder going on inside of your mind mentally right now, and that is a mental disorder. There's something inside of you that won't even allow yourself to be happy, to have peace, to flow into the overflow, to flow into the abundance that God promised you because you keep holding yourself back. So every time somebody tells you on a video, do this, do that. You try to, but you just can't muster up the courage to do the video. You just don't even seem that real and genuine. You don't seem that confident. You don't seem that happy. You don't seem that excited about your business. So why and how would anybody else be? See, part of this video series, y'all, when I'm talking about building an online presence, when I'm talking about becoming a key person of influence, when I'm talking about building your personal brand, is literally taking you out of yourself. So there's a really great book I want you guys to check out. It's called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. An amazing book, helped me so much. It really teaches you how your thoughts are the reason that you're stuck in the whole first place. Like you keep thinking it's some outside thing. It's not the outside thing. It's just these thoughts that you have going on inside of your mind. And it's literally impacting the way that you can do business. See, when somebody tells you to attend a networking event, you show up at the networking event. Yep, you were courageous enough to actually show up. But then while you were there, you sat off in the corner. You didn't talk to nobody. Why? Because there were some thoughts going on inside of your mind about yourself. Well, they ain't gonna like me. I should have wore a different dress. I don't look that nice today. Man, I should have wore a different tie. Why did I even wear this jacket? Why did I wear these shoes? I don't look good. I don't know what to say. My business card isn't good enough. These people don't really like me. All these thoughts will continue to stop you. And can you imagine if you were the type of business owner that really did get flooded with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of customers in a 5-day period, you might not be able to handle that growth. That type of growth might put you out of business permanently. That type of growth can literally embarrass you and allow ridicule to come upon you because you just wouldn't be prepared for it. What am I saying? Building a personal brand is going to be the key to your success. Maybe the reason why your business isn't as successful as it should be, could be, would have been is because you have not been building your personal brand. And in 2024, 2025, 26, 30, 50, whenever you watch this video, building a personal brand never goes out of style. This is what people were doing in the early 1900s. This is what people were doing in the 30s. This is what people were doing in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. Way before social media existed, people were talking to people, building relationships, and that's how sales happen. We've gotten away from that. We keep thinking that if I post on social media, if I keep putting it in front of your face, eventually you're going to buy. No, that's a lie, y'all. So here's what I want you to do as a homework assignment. If you are part of this video series, whenever you're watching this, get excited. Here's your homework. Thinking about your online presence, because we ain't even got into all the meat of building the online presence. This is just foundational stuff. Here's your homework. Think about what building an online presence means to you. What does it look like? Like, how do you want to be perceived? Right? How do you want people talking about you? If it's 5 years from now, what do you want people saying about you during this time of 2024, 25, 26, 27, whenever you're watching this video? You have to now switch your perspective about yourself. So write down as a homework assignment, thinking about your online presence. How do you want people to be perceiving you? When people are searching you on Google, what do you want people to say about you? And I want to ask you, just as an extra bonus, if you want some extra credit, then go ahead and go to Google and search your name and see what comes up. And if you don't have much out there, no problem. Don't judge yourself. Don't trip. I'm going to show you how to build that online presence. But right now, if you know that you've been in business 5, 10 years, 20 years, and there's not much out there on Google, then that will show you that you need to be building an online presence, because when you do, you automatically bring business to you. You probably want the results, right? You automatically have so much business coming to you that millions is an easy thing to conceive inside of your mind. Business is going to be coming to you. You ain't even going to have to trip. You're not going to have to work for it as hard as you are right now. We're going to get into this. I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Make sure that you share this with a friend, that you tap into the community, because we are here to serve you. Making sure that you have also subscribed and that you like this video. You send a comment telling me something about the video. If you liked it, if you hated it, if you feel like you got something out of it, if you feel like you're about to take some steps, if you are definitely doing the homework, I want to talk to you, especially if you're going to be courageous enough to actually do the homework assignment. I want you to comment so that I can respond to you and encourage you through this process. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace and blessings.